Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeffrey Honneus, and I am the author of The Road to Be with God. The Road to Be with God is divided into 21 parts. I call them parts because they are shorter than chapters. Each part has its own individual lesson to teach a seeker of truth. Part 1 is a 2-page biography of Siddhartha, the man from India who later became known as the Buddha, the Enlightened One. Part 2 is a story about being trapped in the net of life, similar to a fisherman's net, trapping fish. Like the fish in the net, a man who seeks to know the truth must struggle for freedom from the endless cycles of pleasure and pain, trapped in the fish net of worldly life. Most fish, like most men, swim in a big circle in the sea of life, similar to being in the middle of a net, never realizing that they are trapped. Like most fish, rare indeed is a man who becomes aware of the net trapping them, and forsaking all else, struggles to be free. Part 4 looks at the scientific fact of God's creation through the physics of cosmic truth. Briefly moving forward over selected subjects, Part 6 is entitled Time to Awaken, and Part 7 is The Great Deception. Part 8 is A Desperate Situation, and Part 10 is The Day of Truth, the day when a mother bird stops enabling her young so as not to weaken their chance of survival. We human beings are often guilty of enabling those we love, and by so doing, we weaken them. Part 12 is called When the Heart Cries. 14 is Where Are You Going? And 16 is The Four Beasts Around the Throne. Part 17 is called The Great Spirit, which looks at God the way the Native American Indians saw nature surrounding them, seeing that the birds build their nests in a circle, and the highest flying bird, the American eagle, soaring to its highest height, flies in a circle. The seasons of the year complete a circle. The moon and the sun are themselves a circle, and they travel across the sky day after day in a great circle. Seeing the truth of life in Mother Nature, the American Indians perform their ceremonies to the Great Spirit in a circle. They believe you came from the Great Spirit and returned to the Great Spirit, only to one day come back again, like the Great Circle of Life. Part 18 is entitled The Mystery of the Rocks, as it magically happened to me on a deserted beach on a Caribbean island. It is the story of God's creation, beginning with the rocks, the sun, the wind, and the sea. Part 19 is called The Call of Destiny, which in no uncertain terms brings down the hammer blow of fate upon each and every one of us. Part 20 is the story of my father's miracles experienced in India in 1936, along with his very spiritual life. I have named this inspiring biography The Gospel of Ralph. I believe you will be amazed reading the story of my father's life. And last but not least is Part 21, the science of the 23rd Psalm. Never before has this science been explained in such clear and concise verse-by-verse detail. The spiritual meaning of the 23rd Psalm will take on a new feeling, as if it were alive. It will become a lifesaver to all souls tossed about in the sea of worldly life with no direction of home. The road to be with God is rich with deep insight into finding God within your own self. It plainly points the way for a seeker of truth to walk the path others have walked long before them, which is the way out of suffering and stress, of torment and despair. In order to center our mind on godly thoughts, the mind needs to be taught a new way of thinking. This is the road to be with God. May God be with you, my brothers and sisters. Goodbye for now.